Alright, shalom, brothers and sisters. Peace and love. May the Most High, through the Spirit and name of His beloved Son, bless you and yours for checking out the video. I'm Ayashima, Charles Anthony. Y'all know me. I just wanted to shoot a quick video and lesson dealing with sovereignty. Alright, and the angle I'm going to take on dealing and speaking about that issue is I'm going to go into the Apocrypha. Alright, the King James Version of the Apocrypha. And we're going to dive into the book of First Maccabees. And we're gonna take a look at, some points, some nation building checkpoints and high points that they had during that time period under Judas Maccabees and Simon Maccabees and the Asmonean and Maccabeus family. All right, who it's rumored that Mel Gibson is about to do a movie about this time and point of our history. But I just want to take a look at some of the points of nation building and some of the things that they did during that time in history. And I really want to just point out and show our people, how far away from true sovereignty that we really are. Okay, because, a lot of people talk about sovereignty and buying land and doing this and doing that, but, we're very far away from the point where we need to be as far as becoming a independent nation on our own. All right, there's a lot of things against us. There's a lot of things that we're not doing, and there's a lot of things that we can't do right now in 2012 to become a sovereign nation. All right, we're very far away from that point. All right, and there's various reasons behind that. We're gonna get into some of them in between these readings, but all right, I'm gonna just start off right now when First Maccabees chapter 8, I'm going to start at verse 19. It says this: they went therefore to Rome. All right, this is talking about our people, ambassadors. It says, as a matter of fact, if you read First Maccabees chapter 8, it'll give you the history of where Rome first came on the scene, but we're going to skip past all that for right now. It says this: they went therefore to Rome, which was a very great journey, and came into the Senate, where they spake and said, Judas Maccabees with his brethren and the people of the Jews have sent us unto you to make a confederacy and peace with you, and that we might be registered your confederates and friends. So that matter pleased the Romans well. See that? So basically what I'm pointing out here is that until we get to these certain points that I'm going to read, stop thinking that we're sovereign or becoming sovereign or any sort of nation. We need to follow these guidelines. All right. And if we can't, we just can't. We're just not there yet. All right. They sent a delegation of ambassadors to another established country. All right. In order to be recognized and listed as their confederates and friends. See that? So what we need to do is step back and analyze ourselves as a people and think, okay, we're black, we're Hispanic, we're Latino, we're Native American. What other nations in the world, all right, on the whole map around the globe, can we actually send a group of people to and be recognized, all right, as a group? All right, in order to receive aid from that nation, in order to receive financial help from that nation, in order to receive military or police backing from that nation, whenever somebody gets wrongly executed, whenever somebody gets lynched, all right, whenever someone gets wrongfully murdered by the police, like what happens to our people so often. What established group or nation can we go to and reach out to that can come in and help us when events occur of that nature, of those natures that I listed? You see, and like I said, if we're not there yet, then stop talking about sovereignty. If we can't send a delegation to I'll say Libya. It's a bad example because they're in chaos right now, but when Gaddafi was in power, Farrakhan would go over there and talk to Gaddafi and do this and do that, because they were a part of the, you know, Muslim, you know, Brotherhood of Nations or whatever it's called. So what I'm saying is that's a real step to becoming a sovereign, recognized nation. All right, we need friends and other countries that are already established. All right. Now, whether I'm shooting down the idea or building up the idea of sovereignty, that's either is my intention. I'll say that, to motivate you to do these things, or to help you understand that we can't do these things. So, give up on the sovereignty notion for a while until we can get to these points. All right. Next scripture is going to be same chapter, chapter 8. Verse 22. It says this, and this is the copy of the epistle which the Senate wrote back again in tables of brass and sent to Jerusalem, that there they might have by them a memorial of peace and confederacy. Good success be to the Romans and to the people of the Jews, by sea and by land forever. The sword also an enemy be far from them. If there come first any war upon the Romans or any of their confederates throughout all their dominion, the people of the Jews shall help them, as the time shall be appointed with all their heart. See that? So this is showing you basically, until we're even able to help an established nation economically or militarily or with any sway of influence that we might have, they have no incentive to be friends with us and help us nation build. See that? And so we're stuck here trying to nation build on our own with no outside help when we don't have a pot to piss in ourselves. That's why it's not working. That's why nothing is being manifested by all this so-called nation building that's been going on these past couple years. We don't have anything established. We don't have any friends in high places. We don't have any connections. All right? We just don't have it right now. Verse 25, the people, verse 26, neither shall they give anything unto them that make war upon them, or aid them with victuals, weapons, money, or ships, as it seemed good unto the Romans, but they shall keep their covenants without taking anything therefore. In the same manner also, if war come first upon the nation of the Jews, the Romans shall help them with all their heart, according as the time shall be appointed them. Neither shall victuals be given to them that take part against them, or weapons, or money, or ships, as it had seemed good to the Romans, but they shall keep their covenants, and that without deceit. According to these articles did the Romans make a covenant with the people of the Jews. Howbeit, hereafter, the one party or the other shall think meet to add or diminish anything, they may do it at their pleasures, and whatsoever they shall add or take away shall be ratified. And as touching the evils that Demetrius doeth to the Jews, we have written unto him, saying, wherefore hast thou made thy yoke heavy upon our friends and confederates the Jews? See that? If we had a friend in a high place to contact the Europeans or the whites that done us wrong in the past in this country, to stand up and say, hey, you know, you're doing those black folks wrong in America. Why are you being like that to them? See, but we don't have that. And see, you need that in order to be recognized as a nation. That's what I'm pointing out. It says, if therefore they complain any more against thee, we will do them justice and fight with thee by sea and by land. See, nobody's standing up and fighting for us. See, we're trying to do it on our own, but we don't have any friends in high places to help us. See that? And I'm barely even advocating anything. I just want to get people's thoughts on this and just put this out there to help people understand that we are so far away from being sovereign, so to speak. Let's go to chapter 10 and verse 29. It says this. It says, and now I do free you. This is King Demetrius writing this, all right? But it really doesn't matter which leader it was. It's from a leader. It's different. This is a part of history where leaders were recognizing us as a nation and things that they were saying to us about this time. All right, and this is roughly from about, 300 BC to 100 BC is all everything I'm going to be reading from the book of Maccabees. This is chapter 10, verse 29. It says this. And now do I free you, and from your sake I release all the Jews from tributes, and from the customs of salt, and from the crown taxes. Verse 33. It says, moreover, I freely set at liberty every one of the Jews that were carried captives out of the land of Judea into any part of my kingdom. And I will that all my officers remit the tributes, even of their cattle. See, and we were carried captive into this nation. But we were never, or we have never been, ever since we became a part of the country, we were never set free from paying any taxes or tribute. See, but the thing was this. What we need to do is go back and pretty much reverse the decisions that our leaders made for us during the Civil Rights Movement. See, during the Civil Rights Movement, we basically agreed to give up our sovereignty in order to sit at the table with these whites in America and become a part of their system. We wanted to vote for in their country, in their elections. We wanted to have jobs in their country, in their communities. See that? But a lot of us are on here right now complaining and crying about the lack of black businesses, the lack of black-owned businesses, the lack of black power and economical and government power. But see, what we did during the Civil Rights Movement is we gave all of that up. You worrying about black businesses, but if you think about it, we had Negro Leagues, okay? We had Black Wall Streets. Even though they invaded it and burned it to the ground, we had black-owned businesses, separate but equal. See, look out your window, take a ride through the city, and let separate but equal sink in your mind right there. See that? Whether it was so-called equal or not, we could have toughed it out. Picture if we would have still had the Negro Baseball League, the Negro Basketball League. We would be the world leader in sports right now. If you had LeBron, Kobe, Shaq, Jordan, all the greats, all the black greats, still only playing in the Negro League and not having to go play in the white-owned, Jew-owned, or so-called Jew-owned NBA. We would be the leader in sports entertainment right now in the whole wide world. You know how much money that would pump into our nation as a people if we would have just agreed to stay separate but equal in the same land, though, and be our own separate entity amongst whites in the same nation, separate but equal. You see, eventually our water fountain would have been a little more prestigious than theirs, or at least on the same level. Because I'm not saying that whites wouldn't still be ahead of us, because pretty much we would only have what, sports. We would have music. We would probably have a big stake in fashion and clothing design, urban wear, urban gear that we put out and we wear, and we set trends as far as styles go. But see, we would still own all that. But see, during the Civil Rights Movement, we agreed to give all that away. All right, because we weren't getting the same aid from the state, because separate but equal, that was a federal initiative. Separate but equal was not a state, legislated policy. Now, if we could have just got separate but equal implemented on a state level and we're getting aid from the state, we would have been better off right about now, man. But no, we agreed to be, we agreed and we advocated that segregation be ended and assimilation on a mass scale occur. And that really hurt us, because the white boys said, okay, these niggas, they want to be on the same playing field with me. They want to apply for the same jobs that I apply for and think they're going to get the same treatment. Oh, come on in. Come on into the system. You want to be on the same level playing field with me? You want to sit at the table with me? All right, that's where we're agreeing to be at the bottom. All right, we already on the bottom, but at least we separate. So they moving up and we moving up inch by inch with them. Now we just agreeing to merge with them and forever stay at the bottom. See, it don't matter how high we get on the scale. We always going to hit this glass ceiling and be on the bottom. But see, if we separate, we can start to get the advantage, or, just keep moving up. But see, we separate though. See what I'm saying? First Maccabees chapter 10 verse 34. Furthermore, I will that all the feasts and Sabbaths and new moons and solemn days and 3 days before the feast and the 3 days after the feast shall be all days of immunity and freedom from all the Jews in my realm. And also no man shall have authority to meddle with them or to molest any of them in any matter. See that we were protected on paper, all right, recognized by established states to have our own thing going on. But see, like I said, back during civil rights, we gave all that up and we agreed to be a part of their system. Okay? No longer separate and no damn sure no longer equal. We agreed to all be Americans and we're all on the same playing field, which is dumb. All right, we can't play chess on the chain chessboard with the white man in his country under his laws, under his documents that never applied to us. We tried to make him admit or say that his documents now applied to us. We tried to make him admit that his attitude toward us had changed. So he put it on paper, but his attitude never really changed toward us. We were always just the former slaves and the niggas in his mind, but we advocated and marched. I'm saying we as far as our ancestors back in the 50s and 60s and 40s and whenever, 60s, 70s, we advocated that he put us on the same playing field with him. When we should have just had us a different stadium built. Instead of trying to get on the same football field with them and play within their guidelines and rules. Where we never had a chance to win. You see, not as a whole. All right, you might have a couple blacks out here scoring touchdowns every once in a while. But as a whole, the team is still on the bottom. The family is still on the bottom. See? Let's go to chapter 11. I'm going to come out of First Maccabees on this whole issue. You know, I might come back and do a part 2 or 3 to this. I'm not sure. But chapter 11, verse 33, it says this. We are determined to do good to the people of the Jews who are our friends and keep covenants with us because of their goodwill toward us. Now, who do we have saying that? Who do we have saying that? Who's our friends? Who are black people's friends? Let's think about it. We claim ancestry and common heritage and history. We claim it with the Africans, first of all, which I disagree with, but I'm going to talk to those that do. What African nation, what established African nation can we go to and have them as our friends and Confederates? All right. We also claim history and heritage to Hispanics and natives. We already know we can't go to the natives because they're basically in the same boat that we're in. All right. Unless we're going to move on to reservations with them and wherever else they at. All right. And also we got the Hispanics. Puerto Rico is an American territory. All right. So can we go down to the islands? Can we go to Haiti? Can we go to Jamaica? Can we go to anywhere in South America, Latin America, Mexico? All right, Barbados. Can we go down there? Can we send a group of delegates and ambassadors down there and get some help? All right? The United Negroes in the Americas, whatever you want to call them. Can we go down there and get some help? These are big steps and real steps of sovereignty. Going out and buying you some acres, all right, that ain't real sovereignty. The closest one I can think of doing that was Malachi York. He was the closest to getting this sovereignty that you all are aspiring to get in these days and time. And he was doing a good job. I ain't knocking it. But I mean, you see what happened, and now basically it's a cow field again. See? These are big steps in order to establish us on the world stage. All right, big steps to getting us a seat at the UN. All right, a seat on the world stage. Because a lot of you either thinking too small or you thinking too big. A lot of you is like, no, we don't need to get no sovereignty. The whole world is ours. We supposed to rule the whole world anyway. This whole world is supposed to be ours. It's not realistic. It's not going to happen bar some supernatural visit from the Most High. And some of y'all thinking too small. Okay, I'm going to just buy an acre and start growing vegetables. That's not going to... That unless you have enough economical influence or capital flowing into that, which a lot of us don't, you're not gonna make any large changes for our people. And I'm not knocking either. I'm not knocking big dreams. I'm not knocking small dreams. All right, but call your movement or call your idea or call what you're doing what it is. Don't try to make it no bigger than what it is. If you're not producing results, if you're not backing up the big game that you're talking with results, all right. If the results don't match what you're doing, or what you're doing don't match the results that you're talking about, all right, just stay where you at then. Let's go to chapter 12:1. First Maccabees. It says, "Now when Jonathan saw that the time served him, he chose certain men and sent them to Rome to confirm and renew the friendship that they had with them. He sent letters also to the Lacedaemonians." All right, the Lacedaemonians are also known as the Spartans, who were black men. All right, and to other places, and for the same purpose. I'm gonna say they were predominantly black. I'm not gonna say that other races and nations, the ethnicity groups, didn't join unto us and join our armies also. It says, "So they went unto Rome and entered into the Senate and said, Jonathan the high priest and the people of the Jews sent us unto you, to the end that ye should renew the friendship which ye had with them and league as in former time." Again, who are we forming leagues with on a world stage? Chapter 12, verse 5 says this. "And this is the copy of the letters which Jonathan wrote to the Lacedaemonians," like I said, also known as the Spartans. "Jonathan the high priest and the elders of the nation and the priests, and to the other people of the Jews, unto the Lacedaemonians, their brethren, sendeth greetings. There were letters sent in times past unto Onias the high priest from Darius, who reigned then among you, to signify that ye are our brethren, as the copy here underwritten doth specify." See that? King Darius of the Persians and the Medes sent to the Lacedaemonians or the Spartans in order to signify that the Jews were their brethren, and they had common ancestry going back to Abraham. See that? "At which time Onias entreated the ambassador that was sent honorably and received the letters wherein declaration was made of the league of friendship. Therefore we also, albeit we need none of these things, for that we have the holy books of scripture in our hands to comfort us, have nevertheless attempted to send unto you for the renewing of the brotherhood and friendship, lest we should become altogether the renewing of the brotherhood and friendship, lest we should become strangers unto you altogether. For there is a long time past since ye sent unto us." See that? And it's been a long time. I guess you can go back to the Moorish Empire that we had. That was really the last time that we were recognized on the world stage as some sort of nation. It's been a long time, man. Those treaties that we had when we were the Moorish nation, those treaties aren't even really, out there as common knowledge. I'm pretty sure you can do some research and look it up for some Moorish documents that we used to have. You would have to do some deep digging. But the type of friendships and confederates that we had when we were the Moorish Empire, the Moors of Spain and all that, we don't know what type of diplomatic status we had with other countries. I'm not sure what type of economy we had and all this and that. That's turning into lost history, man. And we need to get it back, go find and rewrite it, and figure out where we went wrong as a people, and where how we lost our seat on the world stage, man. Verse 11, "We therefore at all times without ceasing, both in our feasts and in other convenient days, do remember you in the sacrifices which we offer, and in our prayers as reason is, as it becometh us to think upon our brethren." See that? Because I know when I'm out here, man, I think about all the people, as far as Hispanics go and Haitians go, that those are brothers and sisters, man. See that? And see, we always don't think about each other in that light, man. We don't even think about the blacks that we see out in the city on a daily basis as our family, man. We look at them as just another nigga trying to get it like us. But we're all one family here. See that? But we don't have that mentality. So that's why I'm saying we're so far away from where certain people want to be and where certain people are saying we need to be. We're far removed. Verse 12. And we are right glad of your honor, as for ourselves we have had great troubles and wars on every side, for as much as the kings that are round about us have fought against us. Howbeit we would not be troublesome unto you, nor to others of our confederates and friends in these wars, for we have our help from heaven that succoureth us, so as we are delivered from our enemies, and our enemies are brought under foot. For this cause we chose Numenius, the son of Antiochus, and Antipater, the son of Jason, and sent them unto the Romans to renew the amity that we have had with them, and to form a league. We commanded them also to go unto you, and to salute you, and to deliver you our letters concerning renewing of our brotherhood. Wherefore now ye also shall do well to give us answer thereto. All right, let's go to stay in chapter 12. Let's jump down to verse 20 though. It says this: Aretas, king of the Lacedaemonians, to Onias the high priest, greeting. It is found in writing that the Lacedaemonians and Jews are brethren. All right, another way to read that is that the Spartans and the Jews are brethren, and that they are the stock of Abraham. See that the Spartans, who were also known as the Lacedaemonians, their ancestry goes back to Abraham, as well does the Jews. Who are the Jews? Us black folk. I just watched Obama giving a speech to AIPAC, talking about Israel this and protecting Israel, but we're Israel. That aid and help is supposed to be coming to us. All right, and there's been a mass identity theft that has happened to us, which makes it even more difficult for us to realize this dream that we have. All right, starting to feel like it's just a dream. Now, therefore, since this has come to our knowledge, ye shall do well to write unto us of your prosperity. We do write back unto you that your cattle and goods are ours, and ours are yours. We do command, therefore, our ambassadors to make report unto you on this wise. See that we don't have other places to go where they're saying, okay, whatever wealth we have as an economy, it's the same wealth that you have in this economy. See that? We are so far away from being recognized as a nation, man. And this, you know, like I said, I'm always, the prophecy is always in the back of our minds. All right, now I'm talking about born a supernatural event from the Most High visiting us, and through the name and spirit of His Son Yahushua HaMashiach. Born that supernatural event occurs, which we all hope for. If we got another 20 years here, you know, some brothers gonna have to do some serious, you know, college graduating and some serious moves in order to get us on this level. Because right now we're not on this level. Let's go to chapter 13. Skip over to chapter 13 and go to verse 41. It says, "Thus the yoke of the heathen was taken away from Israel in the 170th year." See that? So we put the yoke of the heathen on us during civil rights when we said, no, we don't want to be separate. We want to be a part of your program. We want to be a part of your government. We want to vote with you. Separate but equal was the best way to go, man. The civil rights movement was a tactical error on our parts, man. And we fell for a hook, line, and sinker. Then the people of Israel began to write in their instruments and contracts in the first year of Simon the high priest, the governor and leader of the Jews. See, for one, we need a leader. All right, cats talk about, you know, we got the Messiah complex. No, we've always had leaders that step up and lead us where we need to go. We've always had people lead us to where we need to go and step up. That was above the rest. That was not average, you know, whatever. Whether it was a group of them or whether it was one dude. We've always had that. And also, I wanted to point out right here, instruments and contracts, documents, notarized documents, the Declaration of Independence, the Magna Carta, all that type of shit. We don't have that type of stuff for our own people. We're not writing those type of documents, those type of declarations. And if we are, we have to get them to a point where they're being recognized on some sort of level, on a state level, on a county level, on a city level, on a neighborhood level, on a federal level. Until we get there, we just not stop the sovereignty talk. Chapter 14 and verse 4 says this: "As for the land of Judea, that was quiet all the days of Simon Maccabeus, For he sought the good of his nation in such wise, as that evermore his authority and honor pleased him well. And he was honorable in all his acts, so in this that he took Joppa for a haven, and made an entrance into the isles of the sea, and enlarged the bounds of his nation, and recovered the country, and gathered together a great number of captives, and had the dominion of Gazara and Bathsura, and the tower out of which he took all uncleanness. Neither was there any that resisted him. Then did they till their ground in peace, and the earth gave her increase, and the trees of the field their fruit. The ancient men sat in all the streets, communing together of good things, and the young men put on glorious and warlike apparel. He provided victuals for the cities, and set in them all manner of munition, so that his honorable name was renowned unto the end of the world. He made peace in the land, and Israel rejoiced with great joy. For every man sat under his vine and his fig tree, and there was none to fray them. Neither was there any left in the land to fight against them. Yea, the kings themselves were overthrown in those days. Moreover, he strengthened all those of the people that were brought low. The law he searched out, and every contemner of the law and wicked person he took away. He beautified the sanctuary and multiplied the vessels of the temple. Now when it was heard at Rome and as far as Sparta that Jonathan was dead, they were very sorry. But as soon as they heard that his brother Simon was made high priest in his stead, and ruled the country and the cities therein, they wrote unto him in tables of brass to renew the friendship and league which they had made with Judas and Jonathan his brethren, which writings were read before the congregation at Jerusalem. And this is a copy of the letters that the Lacedaemonians sent, the rulers of the Lacedaemonians with the city, unto Simon the high priest, and the elders and priests and residue of the people of the Jews, our brethren, send greeting. The ambassadors that were sent unto our people certified us of your glory and honor, wherefore we were glad at their coming, and did register the things that they spoke in the council of the people in this manner. Numenius, son of Antiochus, and Antipater, son of Jason, the Jews' ambassadors, came unto us to renew the friendship they had with us. And it pleased the people to entertain the men honorably, and to put a copy of their ambassage in the public records, to the end the people of the Lacedaemonians might have a memorial thereof. Furthermore, we have written a copy thereof unto Simon the high priest. After this, Simon sent Numenius to Rome with great shield of gold of 1,000 pound weight to confirm the league with them. Whereof the people heard, when the people heard, they said, what thanks shall we give to Simon and his son? So he sent such a great gift, that shield of gold, that they was like, man, what can we even do for this people for sending such a great gift? But the point is, these are big international sovereignty moves and diplomatic moves that we were making on the world stage back in this time that we're not making now. I guess the people the guys that come to mind that were making big moves like this, I guess you would have to throw Farrakhan in there, whether you question his motives or not. I guess you would have to throw Malachi Z. York somewhere up in there. I'm not sure where. And I guess you would have to go all the way back before that to Marcus Garvey and the moves that he was making, man. And if I'm missing anybody due to lack of information on my end, you know, you have to factor that in too. Lack of information is a big, you can't just make people get on and say, you guys need to do your research and Google this and do it. We've had this common knowledge stripped away from us. And I'm not saying that I don't do my research, because you can watch all my videos and see that I do, you know, put some information out there even for other people to see. But point being, all that knowledge and history is not mainstream. See what I'm saying? So, you know, these are moves that we were making on the world stage. But hopefully everybody's getting the point. Matter of fact, one more verse right there, verse 26. For he and his brethren in the house of his fathers have established Israel, and chased away in fight their enemies from them, and confirmed their liberty. See that we're not, our liberty has not been confirmed. Now, whether that's through military action, whether that's through economical action, whether that's through you know, paperwork action, it's still up to be discussed. Now, let's go to chapter 15. It's going to be the last scripture I'm here for today. It's chapter 15, 1 Maccabees, verse 6. It says this, I give thee leave also to coin for thy country, I give thee leave also to coin money for thy country with thy own stamp. See, we don't have our own money. We don't have our own economy. We don't have our own, and like I said, if we still had the Negro leagues, we would have that basketball league generating revenue. We would have the Negro Baseball League generating revenue, and I'm pretty sure, you know, if you had the white baseball league and the black baseball league, we could at least split almost 50-50, or at least 60-40, or 40-60. We could split Hispanics and South Americans between our league and the white league. I'm pretty sure we could recruit some Hispanics into our league with the talent that we would be generating. And I'm pretty sure we would actually, if we still had the Negro Basketball League, we probably would have a better chance at getting the Dirk Nowinskis and the Steve Nashes and the Yao Mings and the Jeremy Lins to come and play in the Negro League before they go over there and play with who, Chris Anderson, who else you got, David Lee, Adam Morrison. To that, that's who would be in the white basketball league. We would be the leader in sports, man, if we still had that league, man. We would be the leader in hip hop music, putting out hip hop, all right, influencing all other music. See that? That's revenue that could be coming directly to our people instead of having to go through a white Jewish CEO, all right, Clive Davis, who just sacrificed our sister Whitney, okay? All of that revenue got to go through them first now instead of coming straight to our people and to our interests, going into our personal treasury. But, you know, separate but equal wasn't good enough for us. You know, we had to just get a table with the white folks. Verse 7, and as concerning Jerusalem and the sanctuary, let them be free, and all the armor that thou hast made and fortresses that thou hast built and keepest in thy hands, let them remain unto thee. See that we don't have any type of military nothing. We don't have no military nothing. I mean, you got the, what's these guys called, man? The Nation of Islam's security force. That's like the biggest example, man. You know? Or gangs. You want to count gangs. You know, and just street niggas, period. Verse 8. And if anything be or shall be owing to the king, let it be forgiven thee from this time forevermore. Forevermore. Furthermore, when we have obtained our kingdom, we will honor thee and thy nation, thy people, in great honor, so that your honor shall be known throughout the world. See that? We don't have anybody recognizing us and honoring us as black people, Negroes, African American, whatever the hell you want to call it. We recognize ourselves, and we're the only people to recognize us. See that? And we can't do it alone. But let me show you something real quick. Let me just throw this out there real quick, and I'm gonna throw out a couple other things too. Let's go to 2 Maccabees, actually, chapter 13 and 18. It says this: Now when the king had taken taste of the manliness of the Jews, he went about to take holds by policy. See that? Let me read that again. Now when the king had taken a taste of the manliness of the Jews, he went about to take the holds by policy. See that? That's how our people have been brought. Look, that's how the strong black man has been bound, by policy, by paperwork, by this BS, by having bad credit, by child support. That's paperwork. By felonies on your record. That's paperwork. That's policy. See that? We were brought down in a legislative manner. And let me show you one more scripture dealing with that. How, you know, they got the men bound by policy. This is Matthew, St. Matthew, chapter 12. And 29. It says, or else, how can one enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house? See, so you got the manliness of the man being taken away through policy, man, through paperwork, through bad credit and shit like that, bad bank accounts and all kind of shit that's on paper. You know what I mean? That's what we be fighting against, shit on paper. That's what's so tough to overcome. But let's jump back into 1 Maccabees to close this lesson out. 1 Maccabees chapter 2 and 27. It says this. And Mattanias cried throughout the city with a loud voice, saying, Whosoever This is the call. This is the call that needs to be put out. Seriously, the call that's been put out. Actually, whosoever is zealous of the law and maintaineth the covenant, let him follow me. So he and his sons fled into the mountains and left all that ever they had in the city. Then many that sought after justice and judgment went down into the wilderness to dwell there. See that? That's the type of people we looking for. People that seek after justice and judgment, man. You know what I'm saying? Those are the people that's going to be leading the charge in this movement. Because the people that got money, the people that's rich, they like revolution. Why the hell we want a revolution? I'm rich. You need to get out here and get it in the society like I got it. That's how LeBron and them really feel. They like, nigga, I made it, you can make it too. You know what I mean? We have this every man for himself mentality. And that goes back into the American individualism that we've bought into as a society. And, you know, the black woman, they all about that shit. Baby, get you, get me. I got to get me. I'm independent. No, we got to start working as a group again, man. But you got to pick and choose who to play with, man. Got a lot of token niggas out here, bad apples, that's destroying our nation. And you can't trust them. But that don't mean you can't trust me, the good nigga. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's take a look into that fleeing into the wilderness in the mountains type thing. Let's go to Ezekiel 20 right quick. It's already prophesied that, you know, something like that is going to happen. This is Ezekiel 20 and 33. It says this. As I live, saith the Lord God, surely with the mighty hand and with the stretched out arm and with fury poured out, I will rule over you. And I will bring you out from the people and will gather you out of the countries wherein ye are scattered with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out. And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face, like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt. So will I plead with you, saith the Lord. And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of my covenant. And I will purge out from among you the rebels, and them that transgress against me. I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Israel, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. See that? So it's already prophesied that we're gonna make that type of move. Now, as for the people that's gonna be making that type of move, let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 22. And we're gonna start at the top at verse 1. It says this. David, therefore, talking about King David. David therefore departed thence and escaped to the cave Adullam. And when his brethren and all his father's house heard it, they went down thither to him. And everyone that was in distress, and everyone that was in debt, and everyone that was discontented. Let me read that again. And everyone that was in distress, and everyone that was in debt, and everyone that was discontented gathered themselves unto him, and he became a captain over them. And there were with him about 4,000 men. See that? So those are the type of people that's going to be wanting and trying to make these type of moves. But with that being said, I just wanted to bring out those scriptures and give you a quick Bible study on First Maccabees, which is a part of our history that spans from about Alexander the Great's time. It's about, what, 300 BC to about 100 BC to the time of John Hyrcanus of the Asmonean and the Maccabeus family. Like I said, Mel Gibson is supposed to be making a movie about the Maccabees, so when it drops, you should all watch it. I'm anticipating this Asher film to come out because, like I said, I watched this Obama AIPAC address, man. It's like, dude, you addressing Israel, a people that's not even the real Israel. We're the real Israel, man. All right, the president of the United Arab Emirates already said in 1954 that he couldn't respect the current Jews because they left black and came back white. All right, it's no disputing that we are the people of God, the children of the Bible, and it's not the you know, be racist against any other people, but the fact is that's our history and that's who we are, and y'all need to acknowledge that. All right, now as far as accepting the Gentiles, we already done videos on that. You know, we ain't got no hate for y'all. You know, it is what it is, but that's my little spill. Hope you got something from it and felt where I was trying to go. Sayah Shema for the Truth or Die camp. Shout out to all the brothers in the camp. Kadash, Zion, Hakwa, Tazama, you know, Rakah, Yara. Shout out to all the brothers and sisters out there seeking the Most High sincerity and truth. Shout out to all my subscribers and my supporters. I love y'all. I thank y'all. You know, I couldn't put into words how much I appreciate you. Shout out to Mad Voodoo Man, the Ice Man. Shout out to Dan Freeman 717 Avenue Rants. Shout out to Humble Queen, man. She's a trip, yo. Shout out to the brother Test Tizzle, Harvey Superboy, St. Louis Israelites. Shout out to Ayala and the brothers in Duval, Florida. Shout out to Yashar there in California, man. Pharisee Obliterator. Anybody I forgot, man. Much love and peace. Signing off. I'm going to just say shalom, which is peace.